Be very, very quiet.
I'm hunting.
I'm hunting wabbits. A Quiet Place 2 finally has made it to theaters.
It's about dang
The
time.
momentous occasion, and I am proud to announce that this is a great return to the theater.
Yeah, this is definitely worth the wait. I mean, a lot of movies were delayed.
Yep.
And we're like, A Quiet Place 2. The first one was a big hit. It was something different. Everyone wanted to see what the sequel had in store, and I'm pleased to tell you guys, we were pleased.
Yes.
Actually.
It was not disappointing whatsoever. I think that it is one of the best sequels in recent memory. There are just many things that I enjoyed about this movie. Let's start with the fact that it really cements those universal themes really well about facing your fears, and that really gets taken to new levels for some of the characters, I feel.
And that's what makes this sequel different from the first one. The first one was very plot-driven, right?
Yes.
This one very character-driven, and they do that by showing you that each person needs to find their inner strength.
Yes.
Right? It's a journey of each person trying to, like you said, overcome their fears.
Yep.
And not just, overcome an alien. There's more to it than that.
Yes, and this, at the end of the day, this is a movie that feels very genuine. The emotions that you get from those actors, and wow, like they keep you so invested. Krasinski has an amazing talent for creating suspense.
Yes, and I have to say, when a movie has me tense,
Hitchcock would be jealous.
Right. When a movie has me tense from start to finish, always like this, it's a good movie. I'm going to go ahead and give this 4 reels out of 5, and the only reason why I'm not giving it more than that is because I thought that there were parts that were pretty predictable. But other than that, guys, a nice return to the theaters.
A nice return to the theater indeed. Okay, so I will say that some people might complain, I think, that the movie lacks a little bit of plot. Maybe they might have expected that the movie might go somewhere different, but it's really just a continuation of this family's journey.
It's like another chapter.
A quick shout out to Emily Blunt and Millicent Simmons and Cillian Murphy for killing it in their roles. I am going to give A Quiet Place 2... Oh, man. I'm going to give it...
Go with your gut.
I'm going to give it 4 reels. Well, we want to tell you quickly about our online retail store at realscreeners.com, where we have some amazing merchandise with movie themes and other lifestyle themes. And also, don't forget to look us up on social media. We're on TikTok and Facebook at Real Screeners, Instagram, real.screeners.
And as we always ask, guys, if you like our videos, please revisit them over and over again. Subscribe if you like our channel. Hit that like button and share it with everyone you know. Those little things really help our channel. We really do appreciate it.
Yes. And stay tuned for our audience reactions for Quiet Place 2 coming up.
All right, so here with the Real Screeners, we have Claudia and Josh. Were you excited about this movie? What did you think about it?
Yeah, absolutely. We saw the first one. It was such a great concept, I think. Dealing with a horror, but put it in something like not being able to speak, not being able to, yell. So it introduces another aspect, another thing to get scared about, and that's sound and how much you do and how much you can run away and scream in pain or in fear.
Wow, you did such a great job of reacting. I don't know if I have any more questions for you, but I might think of one. We'll see. All right, Claudia, what are your initial thoughts?
I loved it. I really like how they incorporated the ASL, the American Sign Language, into that.
Yes.
Another thing I really liked was the difference of being so used to watching movies at home because of COVID.
Oh, yes.
And then coming into the theater, this is our first movie after the quarantine.
Oh, wow.
So we're like, it was so quiet. Everybody was so respectful in that theater, but the movie really helped to kind of hone in on that feeling of being home in quietness.
Yeah.
It was a nice transition.
Well, we come to the Alamo Drafthouse, and one of the main things that they have here is eating during the film. And it's so easy to eat during an action film. There's so many sounds and explosions and yelling, but in A Quiet Place, it's just so tough because everybody is trying to be as quiet as possible. You're into a crispy French fry, and the whole theater can hear.
Let's go ahead and go to your rating for the movie. So on our channel, we rate movies on a scale of 1 to 5 movie reels. So Josh, how many reels for A Quiet Place 2?
I'll give it a 3.5.
3.5 reels. Okay.
Yes, I will.
I'm sorry. Did you say if it was better than the first one?
What I liked about the first one is just the introduction of that aspect of having to be quiet.
Yes.
And this one, I feel like we already knew that, and I was waiting for something else to occur, and
Gotcha.
just kind of didn't really hit that new thing for me. So
Right.
the first one definitely did that for me.
Okay,
This one
all right.
not so much.
And Claudia?
Definitely a 3 to 4 out of 5. It got me on the jump scares, and
Okay.
I really love that feeling. Ever since like the first 5 minutes got me, and I'm not usually one to get reactive like that, but they did a really good job with just the effects and the emotions of the movie. So they definitely did a good job. The storyline, I guess, was the only thing I would have maybe adjusted, but it was a good overall film.
How many times did you squeeze his arm on those jump scares?
No, he was squeezing my arm.
She did, yeah.
I reacted.
Awesome, that's cool.
Definitely me doing that.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys had a good movie-going experience here, and hopefully we'll see you guys again back on our show, okay?
Definitely.
You guys have a nice evening. Thank you.
Yeah,
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Now we have Louis and Stacey, who just got out of A Quiet Place 2 here at the Alamo. And so, Louis, why don't you tell me your initial reaction to this movie?
I would say like your anxiety is high like during the movie.
Yeah, suspenseful.
Yeah, very suspenseful. I would definitely recommend it. There's definitely gonna be a part 3. There has to be. There's no way they can end the movie like that.
How do you think this one is different from the first one?
I think there was a lot more going on, like different dynamics in the story and a lot of different like things going on at the same time as well, which made it
Yeah.
even more suspenseful.
Do you happen to have a favorite character or actor in the movie?
It's probably going to be the kids. You could tell that they take it after their parents in the story.
Absolutely.
And it looks, and the end is what really gave off the, okay, we're coming back vibe.
Yeah, right. Did you guys know, by the way, that Millicent Simmons, who plays the young girl in the movie, that she's actually deaf in real life?
Yes,
Isn't that
yes,
amazing?
and that the characters learn
Yeah.
sign language to communicate in the movie. I love that. I love that.
Really amazing stuff, right? On our YouTube channel, we rate our movies using movie reels. That's why we're the reel screeners. 5 reels is the highest rating, 1 reel is the lowest. So out of 5 reels, how many reels would you give A Quiet Place 2?
I'd say I'd give it like a 4.5.
4.5.
For sure, 4.5.
Awesome. Okay.
I agree. 4.5.
4.5. So why the half off? Because it's not a classic.
It's short.
It's short.
It's,
You wanted to see more.
yeah.
Oh,
I guess maybe the way it ended felt short.
Yeah. Not only that, like I feel like they left out maybe, like the scenes would cut.
Right.
Maybe it can include more like a little more action. But I mean like I know it's like
Embedded
a
throughout.
quiet like that's the base on the movie. But I mean it's a Michael
Absolutely.
Bay film, so like Michael Bay films are usually action based.
Right, right. They're heavy on that. So
Yeah.
you would have liked to have seen a little
Yeah,
more of
most
that.
definitely, most definitely.
Okay, so hint, Krasinski for Quiet Place 3. You heard it. Luis wants more action. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you
sharing
so
your
much.
reaction. You guys have a good evening, okay?
Okay, Jordan, so you're a big fan of the first movie. How does A Quiet Place 2 match up to the first one?
I think it matches the intensity of it. It's very suspenseful, just like the first one. It was really scary. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, worried about what's going to happen next,
Yeah.
just anticipating the next jump scare. I mean, it was really suspenseful.
There's a lot of focus on the kids. What did you think of that angle?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Showing how the kids would cope with this kind of scenario going on. Not so much the adults like the first one. I thought that was really cool how they incorporated the kids.
Did you ever watch the movie and think, how would I react in that situation?
Oh yeah, plenty of times I thought there's no way I would have made it out of that situation without screaming or something.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Well, Jordan, on our channel, we rate movies on a scale of 1 to 5 movie reels, since we're the reel screeners. And you can even use halves. How many movie reels up to 5 would you give A Quiet Place 2?
I'd give it a 4.
Solid 4?
Solid 4.
Thank you so much for being on our
You're
channel,
welcome.
Jordan.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
we'll see you again at the Alamo Drafthouse. I'm sure we will.
We're back, and now we have Andrea, who came out of A Quiet Place 2 here at the Alamo. And so, Andrea, what are your initial thoughts about A Quiet Place 2?
The first movie was a bit better. The tension was a bit better in the first one. For this one, the music, like even in the first movie, when there was music, it was low, so you still had like that really quiet. Like I remember in the movies, I didn't want to make noise. Like I
Right.
was trying to eat candy, I didn't want to make any noise. But in this one, like it was already loud.
Do you still recommend the second one, though?
Yeah, I still recommend it. I think
Yeah?
people still like it. It's well directed, well
Well directed.
performed, and it was just some of the plot lines, but like, I mean, you know what they say about sequels, but it's still a good movie.
It's still a good movie?
I still recommend it.
Awesome. So, what about a favorite actor or character in the movie?
Reagan, the daughter. Her performance really goes like you don't have to think like, oh yeah, she's dead. It's
Yeah.
just her as a person herself.
Yes. You know, a lot of people talk about how the movie feels very like organic and it just really feels like a real, it could potentially be something real, you know, like there's an authenticity to it. Do you think that that's the case? Do you feel about that about this movie?
Yeah, I do. And I remember reading about the first movie during interviews how they, Krasinski was like with them and he learned ASL, as did Emily Blunt. And they just kind of became like a little family to learn more about each other. And that's what helped with the first movie. I'm pretty sure they carry that on to the second movie
as well. That makes sense. So on our YouTube channel, we rate our movies using movie reels. That's why we're the reel screeners. Out of 5 movie reels, how many reels would you give A Quiet Place 2?
I think I'll give it 3. Maybe 3.5.
Okay, all right. And you gave your justification. It makes perfect sense. Well, thank you so much for sharing your reaction.
Yes,
it was a pleasure having you.
Okay.
And now we'd like to welcome Sergio to the show. Sergio, just give me your initial thoughts on this movie that has a lot of people running to the theaters.
Man, it was great. I was expecting a lot of surprises, and it had a lot of good surprises, and kept me on the edge of my seat.
I'm with you there because when I watched the movie, I was tensing up throughout the movie. I mean, is that kind of how you felt a little bit?
Yeah, it was a lot of tense scenes. It was pretty exciting. I saw the first one, and man, this was a lot better and more exciting. This one had more action than the first one. The first one was real quiet, and this one, I mean, just as quiet, but there was more action, more things going on, and that's what I liked.
What did you think of the acting in this movie?
The acting was really good. They did really great. It made it very believable. Like it could really happen if it did happen, something like that.
Yeah,
like, that's a real life.
So Sergio, on our channel, we rate movies on a scale of 1 to 5 movie reels. How many reels would you give A Quiet Place 2?
I'd give it 5.
5
Definitely
solid
5.
Solid.
Solid 5.
Wow,
that was awesome.
okay.
I liked it a lot.
Must see, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sergio, for being on our show, and hopefully we'll see you again at the Alamo Drafthouse. Take
Sounds
care.
good. Thank you.
All right.
We're back at the Alamo Drafthouse with Raymond and Kayla, who just got out of A Quiet Place 2. And so, Raymond, let's start with you. What was your initial reaction to this movie?
It's a very quiet movie, but like it's like very suspenseful. You really don't know what's gonna happen.
What's gonna happen, huh? It had you like at the edge of your seat.
Yeah, like you're like, oh,
like it was the good part of the movie. What about you, Kayla?
Well, I thought it was like really crazy. It was very suspenseful because like the whole theater was very quiet. So like especially when the jump scares happened, I had a heart attack like 20 times during the movie.
Yeah. So compared to the first one, how would you compare this one?
I would say it's better than the first one.
Yeah.
Like, at least I think it's better than the first one. I feel like there were more details to the story.
So if you had to pick a favorite character or actor in the movie?
I have to say my favorite character was the daughter. I just felt like because, you know...
Millicent Simmons, I think, is the actress's name, yeah.
I just feel like, you know, since her character was deaf, she had to like find other ways to be resourceful and, you know, she kind of played it at her advantage. So I feel like she had to step above the other characters.
Absolutely, yeah. It brought a believability to the story, right? It made it so honest, right, and believable. Okay, so on our YouTube channel, we rate our movies with movie reels, 5 being the highest rating, 5 reels, and 1 reel being the lowest rating for a movie. So out of 5 movie reels, how many reels would you give this movie, Raymond?
About 4 reels.
Okay, that's pretty good, right? So ultimately you recommend it?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you, Kayla?
I'd give it a 5. It was a really good movie.
Big fan. Kayla's a big fan of the movie. Yeah, better than the first one. Okay, awesome. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for being on our channel. And I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the movie. You guys take care, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right, next up we have Shawn and Jennifer. Give us your raw reaction to A Quiet Place 2.
I really enjoyed it. It picks up right at the very end of the first one, so it's a really good continuity. Just as good in every aspect, in my opinion. So I really enjoyed it.
All right, Shawn?
Overall, I watched the first one this morning right before coming here, and it picks up right after it starts. Just the continuity and everything. The beginning of it was just amazing, just seeing how everything unfolded. No spoilers, of course.
Right.
It's just amazing how they did it.
See, and you did it the right way because you made sure to watch the first one today before watching the sequel, which a lot of people make that crucial mistake.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Jennifer. So compare this to the first one. You know, a lot of people, well, you have people saying that, well, I like the first one better. Then you have other people who are saying, well, I like this one because, you know, it's more of a focus on the people, not so much the action. What is your take on that?
So I think I enjoyed the first one more because it was a brand new concept, but now that we are expanding on everything, it's a really new take to it. So it kind of gets that Walking Dead type feel where you see how society just crumbles in this type of panic. So it's interesting to see how you have your survivors and then you have those that are just taking advantage and they're trying to survive as well, but in my opinion, doing it the wrong way.
Right. This movie was very realistic because you could totally see that. Some people would be nice, but maybe others would just take advantage, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And Shawn, what do you find unique about this type of storytelling? I mean, obviously, you know, you have people in the theaters afraid to eat their popcorn.
Yeah, I had chips. Bad mistake. Sitting there trying to eat chip quietly because it's so quiet, just all the time. Like any little suspense moment, it just gets so quiet. Overall, the storytelling, it's phenomenal. I loved how every little bit of detail went into this. Even the tags on the cars were so close to accurate that every little bit of detail went into this movie just to make sure it was perfect.
Yeah, that's a great observation because they were ultra realistic in all aspects in this movie. Well, guys, on our channel, we rate movies on a scale of 1 to 5 movie reels. So, Jennifer, I'm going to start with you. What's your reel rating on A Quiet Place 2?
I would rate it a 4.5, a must-see, a great sequel. I really, really did enjoy it.
Definitely very satisfied. Okay, all right. Shawn?
I give it a 4.5, and overall as a series, a 5. I just love how the new concept and just the storytelling of it, making sure everything is accurate and pretty modern if something like this happened.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, obviously. Hopefully there's a part 3.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for being on our channel.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you guys at the Alamo Drafthouse again.
Thank you very
You guys
much.
have a nice evening.
I'm here with Jorge Estrada, who just got out of A Quiet Place 2. And so I'm going to ask you first, Jorge, what is your initial reaction to A Quiet Place 2?
Coming into the movie, I didn't really know what to expect, but after I watched it, I realized that it's actually extremely good. Like, it's different from the first. It was more suspenseful for sure.
This one?
Yes.
Okay, why do you think that is?
The music did a lot for it.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Okay. Is there maybe a character or an actor that stood out to you in the movie?
Not really. I think his name was Emmett.
The main male character,
Yes.
Cillian Murphy, right?
Yes.
He did such a good job without having to say a lot, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just his facial expressions, right? Tell viewers if, in your opinion, this is a worthy sequel to A Quiet Place.
Definitely.
Definitely it is.
Worthy sequel.
Okay, awesome. So on our YouTube channel, we rate our movies using movie reels. 1 movie reel is the lowest rating, of course, and 5 is the highest rating. So out of 5 movie reels, how many reels would you give this movie?
A 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. So it gets 1 reel off because?
They have like some similarities from the first one. Like, I wouldn't really say music is one of them, but I think the plot, definitely. Like, they have the earpiece that she uses.
Yeah.
That's been used a lot to like kill the things, the monsters.
Right. So it's a little bit like overdone a little bit, like
a bit, yeah.
Okay, a bit. Okay. Fair assessment. We appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It was good meeting you, and have a good evening.
You too.
All right.